This council will decide on future plans after the report is produced. From now on, the council can decide on what our next step should be. There is nothing which divides the country and nothing which destroys the religion.
Is it a report of the steering committee or a separate experts report?
As per the political committee, we have a duty to submit the report to council from the experts which have been provided by the steering committee.
We don't know what it is when it is given today. We need more days to study this. Now we have a question on the legitimacy of parliament. Currently there are more empty seats in your side. So have a doubt whether the government supports this.
Finally, if the council agrees, we can present a bill with support of 2/3. If not, we have a chance to get support. We have presented all these proposals.
Then a steering committee shouldn't have been appointed.
Why did we arrange a steering committee? We held a debate after giving reports. We can have another debate after this.
We got it this morning. First of all, we need to study the report in order to debate.
Yes, we have it in a week or two. Even your MPs were present. Now what your question is that you can't point out that there is documents which divide the country.
It is not what we said, even the president said that. So please don't fool the parliament and the public.
The Prime Minister deceived the Parliament that evening by promising our group to change the electoral system. I agree to that. We cannot create racial hate. I agree to that as well. So I propose to hold a debate in the Constitutional Council.
For upcoming elections, the UNP can bring their proposals and we will bring ours, then we can face the people's mandate.
Those who criticize and spread false rumors against the constitution are also part of the steering committee on constitutional reforms. Banduna Guruvardhana leads the subcommittee of finance. The steering committee must submit a report and a draft of the constitution. However, no such thing has taken place. The committee members have not even agreed to form such a draft. The committee has failed to agree on matters regarding the executive presidency, the voting system, or a proposal for the devolution of power. However, the steering committee has been appointed through the Constitutional Council and therefore the steering committee must report to the Constitutional Council. A vote by the Constitutional Council will take place in Parliament once the final draft is presented. 2/3 must be obtained for the draft to be approved. If 2/3 approval is not obtained, the steering committee, subcommittees and the Constitutional Council will freeze. It's a shame how these leaders are visiting temples and spreading news, saying a federal system is being formed. He was the president for 10 years. Disregard everything said by those around him. But how can a former president make such a statement that a federal system is being formed? Speaker, how can a new constitution be formed when there is no consensus to even form or present a draft?
It is true that I served as the head of the subcommittee on finance and the relevant report was presented in Parliament. However, this report which was presented included facts which were never proposed by us.
Namal Rajapaksa and myself were a part of the subcommittee on law and order. However, the report we presented did not include any of our proposals.
There is a watermark in the English copy stating draft for discussion only. However, the Sinhalese and the Tamil copies do not have such a mark. We want to know the reason for this. I agree with what was told by Namal Rajapaksa. Dear Deputy Speaker, the watermark cannot be limited to only one language.
The United National Party, which is one of the main political parties, has not expressed their stance on this matter. They have avoided this. They have slipped away. They have caught people like Rauf Hakim and are now presenting various proposals. But there is no proposal from the UNP for this constitution. So how can the constitution be drafted? This is only being used for a political game of the United National Party. we have fearlessly said that the executive presidency should be continued.
යම් ආකාරයකින් පවත්වාගෙන යන්නට ඕන කියලා.
ගරු නිමල් සිරිපාල ඩිසිල්වා
Nimal Siripala de Silva is making a serious allegation that there is no proposal made by the UNP in this draft. That cannot be.
ඒක එහෙම වෙන්න බෑ. ඔබතුමාට මේ පොත පෙරළුවා.
පෙන්නන්න කොතන තියෙන්නේ කියලා.
ඕන පිටක් පෙරලන්න.
පෙන්නන්න.
ඕන පිටක් ගන්න. මේ
Take any page that you turn to. 29. DM Swabinathan from the UNP, leader of the UNP, Ranil Wickremesinghe. Please don't speak irresponsibly like this. Myself and MP Bandula were members.
බන්දුල ගුණවර්ධන ඇමතුමයි මෙම්බර් එදා
අගුණාංශ ආවේ නෑනේ මේ විවස්ථායක සභාවට ආවේ නෑනේ.
අපිව පත් කරපේක බන්දුලුමයි මමයි දෙන්නම හිටියා. අපි ආර්ථිකය ගැන තියෙන එක
order please සබ් කොමිටි වල ඉඳලා දැන් වලිග පාග ගැන කතා කරනවා. අත්නෝමතික ජන
This House removed all arbitrary powers of the executive presidency through the 19th Amendment. We have to go for a referendum if we want to go beyond that. If the executive presidency is abolished, while the current proportional representation system for the parliamentary MPs will be left with a situation where MPs are being auctioned for 5 to 6 million every 50 to 60 days. There will be no stable administration in the country. That is why we suggest if the executive presidency is to be abolished, the election system before 77 should be implemented. Then there will be a stable government.
එතනින් ස්ථාවර ආණ්ඩුවක් ඇති වෙනවා. රජය හැටියට
As the government in this report by the panel of experts, we have proposed to change the current unitary state. How can the Prime Minister deny this? Here is the first page. The fourth page of the report they presented. They have added a new section as the government. The current unitary state will be abolished by those words. Secondly, on Buddhism, there is a proposal to change Article 9.
බුද්ධ ආගම ගැන 9 වෙනි වගන්තිය වෙනස් කරන්න යෝජනා කළා දෙන්නේ.
ඒකී
We will protect the concept of unitary state. For the first time in the history of our country, a Tamil party has agreed to the concept of a unitary state and Buddhism.
බුද්ධ ආගමයි